my co-anchor, Chase Kinnicky, our reporter in the
Yeah.
field. Chase, I
Resident
understand you.
Nintendo enthusiast.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's me. So I'll say like we mentioned at the top of the show, this was the first proper Nintendo Direct for over a year and a half. I think it's been pretty hotly anticipated when we would get another one of these, and I'm sure a lot of it has to deal with COVID, throwing everyone's schedules into complete disarray.
Hmm.
The schedules for how this direct would be produced, plus how getting developers to actually continue to make their games, to be able to make assets to provide for a show like this. So I understand why it's been a bit, but still, this was an event that we all were
Yeah.
really excited for every time it happens, and we've even been excited for the mini ones and the indie worlds. But this is the one where we were thinking, okay, big things are going to happen, and I would say on the whole, big things didn't really happen. But I think there's enough fun, smaller stuff and a couple of big things that it was a relatively decent way to spend 50 minutes. Well, at least 45 minutes, and then maybe the last five kind of went off the rails a little bit.
I
Um,
I definitely did not enjoy this one as much.
It,
we enjoyed a lot of it in
peaks
the
and valleys,
moment,
Bobby.
and then yeah, there was definite. Anyway, we'll get into it. I'm not going to cover everything that happened in this 50 minutes because some of that stuff just doesn't need it. Hey, Hades is getting a physical release. Cool. I mean, yeah, I love Hades. We've talked about Hades on this podcast. This podcast right here that we're recording now, we've talked about Hades. I don't think we need to talk so much about a physical version coming out. Big deal. So let's talk about some of the bigger things, the things we found kind of interesting here. The show started with I knew as soon as it started this was the Smash Brothers thing, but hmm, good on Nintendo for continuing to try to bait and switch some of these things. They opened up with a pretty drawn out trailer for some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stuff. You saw the characters whose names, of course, I know. I don't know. I own that game, but I've never played it.
Rob.
Um,
Johnny, you've played a lot of that game. What name one person from that game?
This is a sword guy. Shulk. Shulk.
Shulk is from the first game,
I,
not from the
I
second
played
game, but
like
yeah.
30 hours of that first game, and I
Mhm.
really
Yeah, you
enjoyed
didn't
it.
finish it though. Didn't
No,
finish it
because it's
though.
like
That's the
really
important part.
long.
And also because you don't finish games.
It's true. Well,
Anyway,
true
so
too.
we got the bait and switch that hey, the new Smash character slash characters are the are Pyrrha and Mithra from
Hmm.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. These, while I'm not familiar with the story of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I know that these two are physical embodiments of swords. Um, like that's kind of what this game is. It's waifus, but the waifus are swords, and these are the main two sword waifus. Um, and yeah, that's what they are. So this kind of has like a. It looks like it's they didn't we didn't get like a full Sakurai. Hey, here's every move this character does. I'm sure that will come later, but it does seem like there's kind of an old Zelda Sheik mechanic here where you can transform, or like a Pokemon trainer where you can transform from Pyrrha to Mithra, and each of them performs slightly differently in the way that they do their attacks. It's fine. I don't think it's the characters that any of us wanted for sure, but they're
I
fine. It's
look. I don't have a lot um, to offer when it comes
uh-huh.
to
Anything?
this discussion. Well,
Anime.
anything, but anime,
Friendship?
Smash Brothers, friendship, all the above. I do feel it's a disservice to not put our 2020 best girl forever in our hearts, Impa from
That's true.
Hyrule Warriors, into Smash Brothers. She
She
would
would be
be
great.
perfect. She would be
If you
fucking
mhm,
perfect.
She'd be dropping
yeah,
frogs all day long on people.
God.
if you were going to put a Nintendo published sword lady in this game, you probably should have gone with Impa, but they didn't. They went with these two, which is fine. Uh, they'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Is it
Yeah.
fine, Chase?
The internet is happy because now they get to have more fan art of these two. And
Oh no.
they're anime girls.
when
so
the
Hey,
internet is
I'll
happy,
tell you what.
the rest of the world weeps.
I saw that. I saw what they did to that sweet little Kirby, and it's not
Yeah,
good.
That's God. We didn't see that in the trailer. That is always the most. That is always the thing people want to see the most. Is, well, what's the Kirby transformation going to be? Yeah, if Kirby just gains like two. I guess that's the part we didn't mention. Both of these sword ladies are quite well endowed. Um, yeah, it's like two extra Kirby's on you at that point. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so that's how they started the show. Good start all around. And then we got some kind of quicker stuff, some ports of some relatively popular games. Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout. You may
Yeah, that's
remember that's coming to Switch. Which, maybe it'll run better now that they've had time to work on that game. Have either of you gone back to that at all since
No.
I
since it
played
came
it
out?
in the last few weeks, actually.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
How does it play? Does it feel like they've cleared up their network issues and things?
Yeah, I was able to jump right in. Me and Jude played
Cool.
some of it together.
Nice. And I know they're continuing their DLC stuff for that. And it seems like it's still relatively popular. I mean, certainly not as popular as it was when it first came out, but I think they're still getting players. That's good. And then Outer Wilds, which is a really great game that is also coming out. Both of these games are coming out sometime this summer for Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch. I'm not. I mean, Outer Wilds is not necessarily the most complex looking game, but I'm not sure that the Switch is the best place to play that.
If you don't have anywhere else you can play that game.
Very true. Very true. I mean, I've got it on PlayStation. I believe you guys have it on PC or probably
I
played.
played it on Xbox because it was a Game Pass game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, like I'm glad it's on Switch, but that's probably not the place I would want to play it. I'm going to go a little bit out of order on some of these things. Let's see more. You know what? No, never mind. I'm not. I'm just going to go back in order. Then we got an announcement for two new old visual novel mystery games. I've never heard of these games
Nancy
before.
Drew?
They were no, not quite. These apparently were Japan only, but they are called Famicom Detective Club. I've never heard of this series before, but I imagine it had to come out on the NES, which was the Famicom in Japan. So these two games, let me remember their names because they both have subtitles to them. Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir and Famicom Detective Club: The Girl Who Stands Behind are coming to Nintendo Switch on May 14th.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They seem. I'm probably going to end up playing these. Yeah, they look kind of like visual novels, but also if you guys might not do this as much as I do because I do the monthly preview episodes, but I go through the Switch store, the eShop, and there are a bunch of just trash visual novels all over the eShop. So part of me sees this, goes, okay, these aren't just ports of these games or localizations of these old games. They are complete remakes. And it looks like they've got a lot of animation to them.
The same energy when you look at what the eShop has for trash visual novels. The Steam storefront has waifu VR stuff. That's
absolutely. The difference is
crazy.
The difference is I bet the Steam stuff is a little steamier in some ways.
There's Grand Theft Waifu if you ever want to play that on stream.
God, yikes.
So
anyway,
just very quickly, Chase, I went to the Wikipedia page for Famicom Detective Club. They originally released in 1988, produced by none other than Gunpei Yokoi.
Ooh, I like him. He made the Game Boy.
And written by Yoshio Sakamoto, who's got a really long list of stuff he's worked on for Nintendo over the years.
Cool. I'm excited for these. They are available for pre-order now. They're not cheap. They're like $35 each, which that's more than I necessarily want to pay for a game that I kind of just want to try. But I was actually just thinking, looking through all these garbage ass visual novels on eShop, I'd kind of like to play a good one of these, and maybe these are the ones that I'll give a shot. Or I'm pretty sure I own. In fact, I guarantee that I own the Phoenix Wright games on Switch. I should probably just play those.
The
instead.
Ace Attorney himself.
Yeah.
I've never played those games. Are they good?
I played a bit of one on the DS, I think, and yeah, I thought it was like the courtroom stuff, going around and talking to people and finding clues. Yeah, I think they're kind of fun. I would say they're maybe like a little bit more adventure game than they are visual novel, but there are definitely visual novel elements to them as well. Anyway, so like I said, those games come out on May 14th, and they're sold separately, even though they announced them together. Each of those games are going to cost $35, which okay, Nintendo, whatever you say. Then we saw Samurai Warriors 5 coming this summer. Bobby, we know that you are Dynasty Warriors editor here on the Casual Hour now after Hyrule Age of Calamity, so I'm sure you're going to pick this one up, right?
Well, I've already committed to another Warrior style game.
It's true.
I don't know if I have it in me to do 3 this close to one another, but I'll try my best.
Yeah. I've already broken my rule of 1 Warrior style game per system at this point. In fact, I've broken it twice, and I'm about to break it 3 times with Persona.
Hey, fool me once. Shame on you.
I'm more of a Dynasty Warriors fan than a Samurai Warriors. Dynasty Warriors first. I appreciate that cast of characters. I'm not saying that the Samurai Warriors are bad. Nobunaga Oda is a great character. I think they do cool stuff with some of those guys. I've played the Warriors Orochi games, which kind of combines Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors together. But you can't beat Zhu and Cao Cao and Zhang Lao and Zhang He, and I can just keep going. Zhang Fei, Guan Yu, as we mentioned in Hades. There's so many. Dian Wei. You want me to keep going? Liu Bei.
I would like to keep going down the list of games to cover.
Zhou Yu. Okay. Well, I guess I'll stop. Then there's another localization that's happening for the first time ever. Legend of Mana, which was originally a 1999 role-playing game made by Square Enix for the PlayStation 1. And that is getting a Switch port / remaster. Like it looks way better than PS1, so I think they actually did a little bit of work to it. I have never seen this game before. It is part of the Mana series, but it's like a spin-off. It's not one of those first 4 games. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked good. I thought it looked really crisp and clean.
Yeah, they did some updates to some systems around like the audio of it. It looked like, and the overall visuals. They have some mini games that look like steps in it. It looks like if you're into this shit, like it's a pretty good one of those.
Yeah. Then there was some Monster Hunter bullshit that we can skip over.
God, that looked so good.
It's a big spider in it.
I saw. I like.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm looking at all those monsters, and I'm thinking, like, man, like what elements would they bring over the armor? And I was also looking for some of the the hammer play that they were doing, and I saw a couple hammers that looked really cool in that. That game is locked and loaded. I want it to get here. I cannot wait.
And that's soon. That's March 26th.
Yeah, that's coming around the corner. So I'm very, very excited. Cannot wait to play a lot of that.
I watched that trailer and looked at those monsters and thought, I wonder if that one's going to be in Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Fair.
Which they didn't mention. Could be. Very sad. Very sad. Anyway, moving on. The next game, I think, there's one game I liked more, but I think this is definitely Bobby's game of the show, and that is Mario Golf Super Rush, coming out June 25th.
God, that game looks good.
It looks fucking rad, man.
It looks so good.
I've very much enjoyed the Mario Golf series over the years.
Yep. I think I've played one since the N64. It's been a long time.
I would say they've gotten worse since the N64 version and the Game Boy Color version.
Color version was the best.
Yeah, well, they came out at the same time. They had functionality between each other. That was where they kind of peaked in that era, and then they've been okay. The 3DS one honestly was really, really good, but this one seems extra promising for a number of reasons. One of them is there's kind of like they've combined Mario Kart and Mario Golf together in this kind of speed golf mode where everyone plays at the same time.
That looked like a trip.
That does look really fun. So like you hit your ball and then you run to your ball and then you hit it again. But there are also movement powers, like Mario can get a superstar that can make him invincible. Peach had some kind of like rhythmic gymnastic thing that let her jump a little bit more. Yoshi can roll on a big egg.
Luigi just death stares at you as you go by him.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of chaotic fun for like a much different way to play golf, but also it does have the very slow, methodical play. It showed that there are ways to line up your shot in the way that you want and to check a lot of the variables, wind and grade of the ground and things like that. And then the thing that I was most excited about is that you can build a Mii, and the Mii is part of a new story mode, which they haven't had like a real story mode in one of these for a while. This reminds me a lot of the Game Boy Color version, which is the best Mario Golf game they've ever made. So that's really exciting to me. Yeah, that'll be really fun, and we don't have to wait super long. That's June 25th. So not too bad at all. Yeah, that was a very cool moment for me, and also just really good. They didn't say specifically, but I have to assume this is Camelot making this because they've made all the other Mario Golf games, and I really like Camelot a lot. I wish they'd make another Golden Sun.
I like Camelot.
Yeah. Good. Yep. Well done. Then Bobby's favorite game, Tales from the Borderlands, is coming to Switch March 24th. You know what? That's not fair. Tales from the Borderlands is halfway decent. I've played through at least one of those chapters, and I think
she in it?
No, she is not in it. The one who shall not be named. No, you're safe. You're safe from Miss Tiny, but also it's Borderlands, and at this point, I just cannot be bothered with Borderlands stuff.
Nope.
I don't think I bounced off a game as hard as I did Borderlands 3.
And you convinced Chase to buy it.
You motherfucker.
On the platform that he hates.
And I gave him Cyberpunk 2077 for Christmas.
Yeah, you are really...
That's a better game than Borderlands 3.
And he also suggested to me that I should play Pantsu Hunter. So, Bobby 3 for 3 on game suggestions.
Well I don't have Bobby. To remind you that I thought it was Pantsu Dragoon.
Sure.
I thought it was I don't know. It just looked like something you would like.
How many Telltale games are on Switch? You guys know? Not many, right? I can't think of actually
Walking
another
Dead ones aren't they?
Are they?
I don't remember. I'll look. You keep moving. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Let's see. Batman.
So Batman is? Okay. So it's not the first one. I guess I just haven't played any of them on Switch. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah. Moving on. Capcom Arcade Stadium came out today. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you want to pay $40 for a bunch of arcade classic games?
About as much as I want to pay $60 for a poorly made Zelda game.
We'll get to it, Bobby. Don't spoil things.
Bury the lead, Bobby.
Well, if you guys didn't want to pay $40 for a bunch of Capcom arcade games, you could pay less than that just for a portion of those Capcom arcade games, because this Stadium collection you can kind of split up into these different packs of games, and it's not completely a la carte. I think there's 4 of these packs, and each of them has a different selection of games inside it. So if you just want the Street Fighter 2, then you can buy the pack that has the Street Fighter 2 in it. But no, you can't quite go piecemeal. This isn't Xbox Game Room, but if you like those Capcom arcade games, if you want to play the best version of Ghosts and Goblins that's going to come out this month, that's the way to do it, because it sure as shit ain't the new one, and we've talked about that on the show before. Yeah, Bobby, get excited, because on March 16th, that's soon. That is less than a month from now. You can get to play Stubbs the Zombie again.
God, I love this game.
We talked about this game before, I think. Like, we talked about some of these B games from older generations.
Yep.
I never played this one.
It is so good. It's built on the same fucking engine as Halo, first of all. It runs probably pretty fucking good. And I told you this before. I've mentioned it before multiple ways. One of my, if not my favorite video game soundtrack. It is a really great collection of songs from the 50s and 60s done by modern indie artists I say like modern, knowing now that this is like
no longer modern.
20 years old. Jesus Christ, that's fucking weird. But I mean, like, it's got Flaming Lips, Death Cab for Cutie, a bunch of other things on there as well.
Well, it did. Who knows? They didn't mention anything about the music.
I really hope the music's there. I wonder
in like a Tony Hawk way, did they go back and do the work to get all that licensed music?
I don't know, man. But that gameplay is really cool.
Maybe they even got more modern bands to do covers of the covers. Did you ever think of that?
And I mean, you all know that, like, I love mid-century shit. This is definitely like a game. I think it's set in 59. It's dumb, it's quirky, it's campy, it's really fucking cool. I cannot wait to play it again. I'm sure I'll be let down because I did play this. I played it. I think the 360 was out, so I didn't play it when it first came out, but I still had
2005. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that I played this maybe like a year after it came out, but I still have my old Xbox and I played it there.
Yeah. And video games have changed a little bit from when this game first came out, so it will be interesting to see if this stuff actually holds up. But I think it's cool. I think it's really fun that people are going back, and we had that remaster of what's it called, Destroy All Humans, that came out somewhat recently, and this feels in that same vein of, hey, we brought back this game that you forgot about completely. I think that's kind of cool. Then we got a trailer for No More Heroes 3, which is coming out August 27th. It's more Travis Touchdown. None of us have played a No More Heroes game before, correct?
No. Nope.
Yeah. No. Not necessarily my favorite series, but people have been waiting for this one on Switch for a while. So good for them. We'll see what happens. Then we got a trailer for Neon White, which is coming out this winter.
That was the Annapurna one, right?
This is Annapurna, which I kind of trust Annapurna these days because they've put out some really good stuff. I'm not sure about this one. It's first person.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of platforming. It looks like it's about assassination. I've been doing enough first person platforming in Destiny lately to go, that's not my favorite genre of game.
No way.
Okay. Wait a minute, because I just read something. Maybe you guys knew this already.
I texted it to you.
About Ben Esposito?
Well, no. I'm sorry.
So Ben Esposito, creator of Donut County, is the developer of this game.
Yeah. His name was in the corner of the trailer. I did see that.
Oh shit! Okay. I didn't know that.
But what I texted
this
you.
Will be good.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Annapurna is behind it, if Ben Esposito is behind it, and then the thing I did text you guys, it's the voice of Spike motherfucking Spiegel.
Yeah.
Bobby, that is the Cowboy Bebop man, the anime that you bought.
Call me Bobby Bebop.
Of Super
He's
Robot Wars fame.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
That's his best known work. Even though his dubbed voice is not actually in that game. Unimportant for sure.
Was this a Switch only game?
I don't know. It was announced at the Direct, so that. But I imagine it could go other places. But I don't know. I want to look at that trailer a little bit more closely and see a little bit more about what that game is.
It's
but
at least coming to PC because it has a Steam page.
Okay. Who knows? That could be good. We'll see. Next, Bobby, I think of the three of us, actually, I don't know. Between the two of you, who is the bigger superhero fan?
Bobby.
Probably me.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Bobby, I have good news for you. DC Superhero Girls, Teen Power, is coming out June 4th. So, there you go.
Yeah. I don't want this Nintendo version of Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. I'm good.
You know what? It's not made for us for sure, but it did look relatively competent. I feel like it had some Persona vibes to it, where there is a definite social link, be with your friends, do some shopping kind of stuff, and then also a let's go around and fight monsters stuff. I mean, it is not like a school and a JRPG put together, but it is that kind of here's your downtime where you can work on your social links and here's your combat stuff. It's definitely not for us, but I could see it being a competent game for girls or little girls or little boys who might be interested in playing. Like, this seems better than some of the garbage kids games that we've seen. So I'll give it that. Let's continue moving on here. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville Complete Edition is coming out March 19th for Nintendo Switch. I've never played any of the Plants vs. Zombies shooter ones. I liked it when it was when you did like the tower defense kind of stuff. That was okay.
Yeah,
early iOS game.
I played it a lot on iOS, not the 3D ones though.
Yeah, and they even messed that one up with the second one where they didn't get the free to play stuff right. That was pretty bad. But yeah, the shooter stuff, I actually heard it was okay. I know it was a pretty big flop when it first came out, but those games apparently got way better and more competent.
I checked it out because I subscribed to the EA thing for a long time because I never knew how to cancel it.
And there was a corn stalk that shot corns out of his arms.
It was fun. It was a competent online shooter. I don't know if I'll be picking this up, but
now it's on Switch, so
yay.
Moving on, we're getting a port, like a port deluxe of Miitopia coming out May 21st.
Is this the old one? Did we confirm that?
Yeah, I looked it up. It does seem like it is the old one, but it does seem like there is a decent amount of new content that's being added to the Switch version. I played Miitopia. I think I was the only one on the podcast who did. This was a 3DS game. It's fun. I think it makes a really great first impression. You get to build characters. You can make them look like your friends because they're all Miis. I remember having you guys in the game. I think Bobby was a mage. I can't remember. But like you gave them different classes, and then it was a little like Tomodachi Life in that there were just some times where you'd see the characters interacting. There would be some fun things that happened during the battles. It was cute, but I think it was a much longer game than I expected, and it really wore out its welcome once you saw enough of those scenes that you just went like, okay, I just want to get the game over with. But with all this new content that they're adding in, it looks like there's a horse that you can befriend and ride and use in battles. Who knows? I could see myself picking this up again and trying it out again. I think the Switch is a great place for it. Yeah, a lot of me content in this Nintendo Direct, which is crazy. First
Mamma
in the
Mia.
golf game, and then in no, sorry, Bobby, that's not allowed. You have to leave the podcast now.
It's been a lot of fun.
All right, well, now that Bobby killed it, let's move on then. There's going to be some Mario shit in Animal Crossing. They already told us this before, but they kind of showed off a little bit more of it. That's coming real soon, February 25th. You're going to be able to buy a bunch of this stuff just from the Nook shopping channel app on your phone in-game phone. And there's some cool stuff. I would say the coolest thing is actually something that has a mechanical addition to the game, and that is the warp pipes. You can purchase 2 of the Mario Green warp pipes and put them on 2 different places in your island, and you can use it to transport yourself instantly to that other side of the island.
You can only have one set of pipes, right?
Correct. Only one set of pipes. But still, I could see this, like, just for me, I can see this, like, putting my house is in like the bottom left corner. I could totally put one in the top right corner and just instantly go there and check to see if Jolly Red shows up there that day. That seems super handy to me.
I gotta say, I'm very happy that this didn't happen, but it's been like, I think that it's confirmed at this point in time that Nintendo is going to monetize at some point in time, like in-app purchasing for this game. Like, there's going to be shit that you can buy, and like there's I think that much has been said. I thought for sure that this content would have been like their first dabble into that, being that like they've got this cool mechanic, it's Mario shit. It seems like the perfect type of skin or pack that you could package up and say like, hey, $9.99 gets you all the Mario shit. And I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine that if they were going to start charging for it, I haven't heard that they are going to start charging for anything. I know that Pocket Camp was where they had a bunch of microtransactions, and that's why I just didn't play that much Pocket Camp. But I imagine if they do that, it's going to be after they've done a year of free content, and that would put them in a really tough spot because of all their Mario 35th stuff, all their, hey, we're taking away all the Mario games off the eShop after the 31st. That wouldn't give them a ton of time to be able to put this out for sale if they wanted to hit that Mario anniversary that they're doing. Also, as a person who's played previous Animal Crossing games before, this is not new. There has been Mario shit in Animal Crossing games before. There's been other Nintendo shit. In the very first Animal Crossing, you could get a GameCube symbol and a Nintendo 64 symbol and a fucking R-Wing, and even NES games, and you could play the mini games there. And then they learned that, wait, we can make people pay for those. But there's still been Nintendo stuff in previous Animal Crossing games before. So if anything, they're definitely doing more with these this time. Like, there are bricks that can float up in the air. There are question mark blocks that float up in the air or be put on the ground. There are costumes for Mario and Luigi and Wario that I remember seeing, and probably other characters as well. Peach, I know Peach is in there too. There's a flagpole. But for me, like, the pipes, I think, is the coolest part. Part of me wants to just like redo my entire island and make like a part of my island that is cut off from everything that can only be gotten to through the pipe. And cool. So you could have like a secret grotto. That would be really cool. But also at this point, I've put too much time into this version of my island that
Chase,
I'm not going to do that.
You did mention something. I don't want to I know that we're moving ahead here. I'm going to pause, look back a little bit on one thing here. You mentioned a Wario costume, and we missed the opportunity.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
We missed the opportunity. Like, Nintendo did not have to go that fucking hard in their goddamn golf outfit for Wario. That boy looks fresh as fuck. Holy shit. Johnny, if you just look at the thread message that I sent earlier, it's there.
Those are some sweet pants.
His hat, his pants, the whole fucking look. I mean, I don't know. Like, he's the John Daly of fucking Mario Golf.
Yes.
Look at my man here.
Look what they did to our boy.
I need that cowboy hat.
No shit.
This is very good.
Sorry, but we couldn't have not addressed that.
I appreciate you calling that to our attention. That's a very important piece. All right, I'm going to skip the next one because I want to end this on a nice note. So we'll come back to that at the end. The next game, Bobby, you're also the biggest Star Wars fan of the three of us. I have great news for you. There is a free-to-play Star Wars game called Star Wars Hunters coming out in 2021.
I want to know more about it. Like, I saw they put that out there.
Being published by EA. How much more do you want to know?
Thank God.
I want to know more. I want to know.
This trailer started with calling all hunters, and I thought for sure they were going to be putting out a remake of, or like a remaster port of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which is not a great game.
I'll tell you this much. The Bounty Hunters are very beloved and very misunderstood in the lore and fandom of Star Wars. And if they can do some really interesting stuff on bringing some of these bounty hunters more into the spotlight, that would be cool. This is going to be a BR fucking type ass game. I know it is.
Yeah, like this is Bobby. It's a free to play game. I doubt this is going to be where the rich lore of Star Wars gets expanded upon. I think this is maybe deck yourself out into some Mandalorian armor and call it a day.
Mando.
Yeah. Who knows? I would love to be proven wrong. The next game, Knockout City, is coming out May 21st. I thought this was a bad trailer. I thought they did a pretty poor job of showing off
the only thing that this was lacking was E3 cheesy ass squad dialogue. It was fucking bad.
I mean, it got pretty close. It got pretty close to that.
Cover my six. I'm going in. Ugh.
I didn't think the game itself looked terrible. It's a battle royale dodgeball game.
It looks stupid.
From what I can tell. It doesn't look great, but I think the presentation around it, that they had these characters in these kind of like talking head segments.
The fake Counter-Strike guy, the fake WoW.
Yeah, that was the dumb part, though, is that.
Yeah, why were they there?
Those characters don't even show up in the game.
Yeah, you're not. This isn't Team Fortress. What are you doing?
I guess it was trying to like shit on other games. Like you said, it was like a Counter-Strike dude, World of Warcraft orc, and I don't know, like some
Pixel
Candy Crush princess, whatever. Yeah. It was not great. And then they go to the actual character selection stuff, and none of those characters look like any of the people that shit on other. What is you doing? What's happening here?
You work in marketing. How do things like this happen?
I mean, it's because you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Somebody has an idea, and then it gets changed a little bit here, a little bit there, and
then until eventually you have Counter-Strike man talking shit.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. I'm sure this came out as like let's be real aggressive and let's like talk shit about these other free-to-play multiplayer games.
It's bad.
And we'll show how cool and how much attitude we have. Sonic the Hedgehog, he's got attitude. We can have the same thing. And then I'm sure some of that got dialed down and dialed back and tweaked and changed here and there. And it just ended up being kind of lame, and it didn't really make all that much sense. I don't know.
Not for me.
Look great. I think the logo lockup's kind of cool. The Knockout City type treatment looks nice.
Yeah, that's good looking.
Bobby, you said you've played a little bit of this next one. World's End Club is coming out May 28th and Nintendo Switch. You said this was an Apple Arcade game?
It's on Apple Arcade. I didn't care for it, but I'm definitely not the target for this type of game.
That's true. Yeah, this is made by the Danganronpa people, so that's also kind of a visual novel-y kind of game. This one, I believe, is like all side scroller. Like it's a side scroller, but it's got a lot of story talking stuff to it as well. Although it's not just all visual novel. There's some action stuff. There were some boss fights they showed in the trailer, and there were like 10 characters that were all on a 10-person bike biking together, which was the best part of the trailer for me. I don't know if that's one I'm going to pick up either.
It's not great.
The next game they showed was the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. They're just coming out June 10th. I didn't see. I didn't write down specifically what the three titles were. I mean, it's Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 for like the 3D ones that Tecmo made, but it's like special versions. Like the first one, it's Ninja Gaiden Sigma, I think, which was like the definitive version of Ninja Gaiden 1. I can't remember what the second one was, and then was there a subtitle on Ninja Gaiden 3 as well?
That I don't know.
Bobby, or somebody looking that up? Can somebody look that up?
It's Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge.
Okay, yeah, Razor's Edge, right? Yes,
can't forget all Razor's the DLC Edge. And cosmetics.
Those games are hard. Those games are hard as hell. Devil May Cry, I remember being like a hard fun, but I don't remember these games being hard fun. It was just hard. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't think Switch is necessarily the best place to put these games. Cool that they're on there, though. I guess I have to imagine they're also coming to other consoles. At the very least, Xbox. That's where all these came out before. I think that was the interesting thing. Tecmo bet big on the Xbox back in those days. That's where Dead or Alive came out, and these games as well. And they didn't show up on PlayStation. So I wonder if this time will they actually come to PlayStation, or if they're just going to stay Nintendo and Microsoft.
They are coming to other platforms, including PC.
Huh.
Cool. Okay. Interesting.
All
right. Then we got we're going to start talking about some Zelda stuff, which makes Bobby very excited. We're getting some new content for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. There's an expansion pass that's coming out. There are 3 segments to this, which really gives me some Fire Emblem vibes, and not in a good way. May 28th is where I think you can start the expansion pass, and you get 2 new costumes for Link. Only Link. There are other characters in that game besides Link. In fact, there are quite a few other characters besides Link, but you only get 2 Link costumes. And then if you get the expansion pass, there will be another pack that comes out in June of this year, and I didn't have everything in front of me, but it said expanded roster, so that I assume there's going to be at least 1 new character out of that, and some new stuff with there. I think they said some new weapons as well, and then it seems like similar to the Fire Emblem. Now that we've given you a couple things, here is the big one in November that will have some new story stuff, also expanded roster, so they'll be bringing in more new characters there. Here's the problem. I think we all like that game. Do we like it enough that we think we're going to keep playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity into November of this year?
It depends, like I think if there's a tie-up or a crossover or tie-in where if in some weird way they do precursor shit to Breath of the Wild 2, I could see that being like a way to get people excited about it and really pump up like the potential characters that they do with it. I still have a couple people that I can unlock in the game that I know are more like severe in game, and there's still quite a bit to do that I intentionally like did not keep going at the time because I'm like, I want to come back to this game because I like it so much. I did what I needed to do for Game of the Year. I got that information, which is great, but I don't know. Like on one hand, I have the expansion pass for Cadence of Hyrule, which I love. And I haven't really gone back to that game, so I don't know. And like, it depends really like when like things are coming out. If this comes out in November, coincides with, I don't know, maybe like a Horizon Forbidden West game, like there's probably not a good chance where I'll be playing something from last year when, even if it has new content on it, when there's brand new stuff coming out. And I know holiday is a real sacred time for releases also. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, to give it some credit, I would say that a game like this, I think, lends itself better to new content than a game like Fire Emblem did, where, Fire Emblem, those campaigns take a long time to do. So if they say, well, here are some new characters that you can use on your playthrough, it's like, I don't know if I'm willing to commit to another 30, 40-hour playthrough just so I can use some of these characters. But in this, you can pick a character and just go into some missions. It will be, I'm sure it'll feel kind of weird to have this level 1 character compared to all your super high level characters, but it probably lends itself a little better.
All you have to do is literally take him over to the barracks, and you can
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I would need to see the characters. That's probably what's going to sell it for me. Bad news. It's Mira and it's Pyra and Mithra again. They're coming to Hyrule Warriors. Sorry, Bobby.
No.
That is not been confirmed, but I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
Yeah.
We got a quick trailer for Bravely Default 2, which is coming out February 26th, real soon here. I talked about that on the show a couple weeks ago. We got some other like super quick hits. The what was it called? I didn't even write it down. The Saga Frontier remake is coming out relatively soon. And then we got to the big news. We saw Mr. Eiji Onuma, and he had the best line of the whole show, especially, God, it was so perfect. He's on a black screen. He's wearing a Zelda shirt. You're like, oh shit! It's time to hear
exactly
about
what
Breath
I
of the
said.
Wild 2.
Someone at work was talking to me when this happened, and so I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Oh, it was so
like, Please
good.
Just keep talking so I can hear this. And then I heard through my ears, "We will not be sharing." I was like, "Gah!"
But to make it even better, though, is because he's speaking in Japanese, there's a part of you going like, oh man, I can't wait, and then just to tease it just that little bit more, and then the translation comes in. It's like, you probably think I'm here to show you some more Breath of the Wild 2 stuff.
Be sure to drink your
not.
Ovaltine, kids. It was such a fucking letdown.
God. It was so good. It was so good. It was so
I can tell
funny.
you, I don't think that game is coming out this year.
I don't know. I don't think so either.
Yeah. If it is, it's going to be holiday.
No way.
Yeah, I don't.
They would ramp up
happening.
and do a bunch of shit with that game.
I mean, they've done.
Dude, they showed a game. They showed a game for 2022, which we'll talk about in a minute.
They showed multiple games for 2022. But to credit the possible theories, though, it is Zelda's 35th anniversary this year. Right. So you would think they would try to do more Zelda stuff this year. I could see like a Zelda Direct happening at some point where here's a mini Direct that's all about Zelda stuff. It's about Breath of the Wild. It's about, who knows, maybe they'll make the Oracle games in the Link's Awakening engine. That's what I really wanted. But no, none of us got what we wanted because they're putting out Zelda Skyward Sword, everyone's favorite.
Here's what I'll say.
God.
It's been said in the chat. I feel this way as well. We covered it when I did my deep dive on all the timelines for Zelda. Skyward Sword has some of the best lore for Zelda.
It's an extremely important game in Zelda mythology.
Unfortunately, they somehow turned a fucking filet mignon into a hot dog when it comes to playing it. And I beat that game on the Wii, shirtless, sweating in front of my television.
I don't think that's information we needed to know.
I had to rearrange furniture to get through that end game. I was sweating my ass off like I was dancing to Richard fucking Simmons trying to beat a fucking Zelda game. And it was awful. And to see that they had an opportunity, which they even botched that, mind you, to say, hey, guess what? We're just going to fucking make this play like an action game. Press your button, swing your sword, play the game, get the story. No, it's fucking motion controller. And by the way, if you're playing this in handheld, just push the thumbstick in the right way.
No,
it's not Fruit Ninja, you assholes.
I would say this is certainly better than Mario 3D World, better than the touch stuff that they showed with that, or that didn't come over that well. Than the Mario Galaxy stuff they did with the 3D All-Star Collection. It's better. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good. It actually reminds me. Okay.
Sorry, no, you go for it. Finish up.
It reminds me of the Fight Night boxing games where you use where EA got very into the hit stick stuff of like, well, what if you use the right stick to make it feel like natural motions? And to their credit, if they want to keep the idea of the motion control in there, that seems like a better way to do it. But also, it's not making me want to play what is maybe one of the worst Zelda games ever.
If you have played this game, don't play it again.
No.
If you've never played
play it,
it's incredibly important, and quite frankly, it's the fucking reason we have Zelda storylines that we do today. So you owe it to yourself to play it. If you have a Switch, play the game. The best fucking part about it, and I mean, I've got really cool fucking Joy-Cons, but I'm eyeballing the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons because those are really fucking slick. But by God, I'm not taking my shirt off again to get through a fucking boss battle like I had to back in what was that, 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I mean, I was like winded. Like, you might as well fucking got me some
into the office at the store to tell me about it.
Yeah, like I literally rearranged my living room, took my shirt off, and sweated it out. Like, all these assholes in 2021 talking about, oh, that game's sweaty. That game's sweaty. Have you fucking played Skyward Sword on the fucking Nintendo Wii? Like, and look like this? Like, you're gonna sweat. It's gonna happen. It's the sweatiest fucking game out there.
It's the inspiration for Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh my God.
All right, and then they ended the show. We're not ending our show with this because there's a better game to talk about. But they ended their show with one more thing. What could it be? Everyone's very excited. Chase is excitedly praying for Fire Emblem. Bobby's already had his heart broken by Breath of the Wild 2. Yep. What could they possibly do? Is it Mother 3? No, of course it's not Mother 3. It's Splatoon 3.
Yay.
Hey,
it's fine.
You get to raise a pet in this one.
Yeah, sure. You get a little squid to, yeah. I don't know. It's fine. I was not super taken by Splatoon 2 when I played it. It's competent. If I'm playing a shooter, I'm going to play Destiny or a different shooter.
Sure.
But for people who only have Switches, I understand the appeal.
There's something there.
It's got some interesting mechanics to it for sure.
It's not a game ender though. It's not a show ender. In my opinion.
No, I would not say it's a show ender. I'm sure it is for some people. They showed some customization options that seemed interesting. There was a shot if Johnny had watched more than one episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion, he would have gotten a very good reference that was in there, but he didn't, so he doesn't get to know. Sorry, Johnny. Yep, you disappointed everyone. Anyway, Splatoon 3 coming out in 2022. They didn't show a lot. It was a very quick teaser.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's how they ended the show. But it's not how we end our show because there is one other game. There was no Fire Emblem, which of course disappointed me. But there was a turn-based strategy game that was shown off.
Fuck yeah.
That looks pretty fucking good. It's being made by Square Enix. I don't know if it's the same team that made Octopath Traveler, but it would not surprise me.
Looks like it.
Very much in that same style.
God, that game looks really cool.
It really does. Working title here, guys. Project Triangle Strategy, which is a bad working title.
Sounds like a fucking...
Why?
It sounds like...
yeah.
Some fucking like science fiction prog rock shit. Like,
yeah.
We are Project Triangle.
God. It looks really rad. So the triangle thing, it looks like there's this there are these scales, like this weird tri-scales thing. Like it seems like this is the god that everyone prays to or whatever. And you can kind of influence how these scales tip to because there are different people in your army, royal family, whatever, that kind of represent the different feelings on these different scales. It looks really story based. It feels it's got a very Final Fantasy Tactics look to it, where there is height bonuses for terrain. I thought it was really cool that there, if you are on higher ground, you actually get longer reach on your weapons, which makes some sense. Yeah, if you
don't try it.
High ground.
Don't try it.
And something I found really cool in the combat stuff they were showing, it didn't seem like it has the thing I hate in turn-based strategy games, which is which direction you're facing makes a difference. I hate that stuff because I just feel like it's way too easy for enemies to just walk around you and backstab you, and it's not a fun
Johnny will tell
mechanic
you all
for me
about it.
to build around that. Oh yeah, Johnny knows a lot about backstabbing people.
Bastard.
But the new mechanic it has that I think is really cool is that when you attack someone, if another ally is flanking them on the other side, they get an extra attack. And it doesn't just have to be like two people side by side, like sandwiching an enemy. It can be an archer from like five spaces away that hits, and as long as there's another person on the other side of them, they also get that extra
That's
hit. I could
exactly
see that.
what Fate Tactics does, and it's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool to hear. That makes me want to play that game even more. But that seems like a really cool and interesting way to set up my battles and play with my army in that way. It looks like it has some big splashy effects. There was one guy who had this spear that he brought down on people in a very anime meteor style way that looked fucking rad. The art in this game looks sick. Like not just the cool like high definition pixel art stuff, but the like the hand drawn character portrait stuff that they have in there too. It looks like it has English voice acting, and the voice acting I heard sounded really good.
Sure.
I'm very excited about everything I saw in this, except the date.
Yeah,
because
not good.
when you put working title Project Triangle Strategy, what lights up in my mind is, oh, you're not ready to release this game. Then you don't even know what the fuck you're calling it. And that's true. They're not putting this game out until 2022, which is a long way away. But there is a demo that is currently out right now, and it looks like they're doing kind of the Bravely Default 2 treatment, where they want you to play. They're going to ask for your feedback, maybe tweak some things, which I really appreciated. You know, yeah. I mentioned on the show a couple of weeks ago, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of where they ended up taking Bravely Default 2, but I still really appreciated the demo and them listening and them like really asking for feedback because they want to make a good game. So that's cool. Who knows? Like this, it honestly made me want to go back and play Octopath. That game, I don't feel like I gave that game enough of a chance, and I kind of want to go back and play a little bit more because man, that game looked so good.
Chase, I really appreciate you taking time tonight to put together an outline for the Direct. It was a lot of fun to watch it and kind of have that commentary as a team while we were doing that, and then to talk about it tonight has been super exciting. I'm sure we'll cover more of this stuff as we move through the year and give some hot takes.
Yeah. What was everyone's highlights? Obviously, mine was Project Triangle Strategy. Bobby, I imagine yours was golf.
Yep.
Johnny, how about you? Was Splatoon, or was there something else that was a bigger deal to you?
I absolutely love Final Fantasy Tactics, and that's what I thought that this was at first.
I thought there was a chance of that too.
So that sparked joy in my heart.
There you go. Nice.
A little Marie Kondo over there.
Yes.